Hi there, welcome to Kneppy Invest. Before I get into this video, question for you: what is the 25th element in the periodic table? And that is relevant for the company I'll be featuring in today's video because that company is actually called Element 25. And it's a very appropriate name for the company when we talk about what they do. Now, the reason I've decided to do a video on Element 25 is because they are the first company to release either an Appendix 5B or 4C with receipts. A few companies that have no receipts at all, these are mining, exploring companies, have released their quarterly report before Element 25. But this company is the winner for the March quarter. Now, I'm recording this video on the morning of April 12th, and I just went online to have a look at some of the announcements that so far have been released today, and a few more quarterly reports have been released, and more than likely I will be doing a video on Althea, AGH, because even though that company is not operating cash flow positive, free cash flow positive, they're the first company to issue an Appendix 4C for the quarter. I thought, let's reward that company. I have not looked at Althea before, so wait out for that video in the next few days. So have you come up with the answer to what is the 25th element on the periodic table? If you said iron without looking or cheating, you would have been very close. That's actually the 26th, I think. Cobalt is the 27th. Then it's nickel, 28th. Copper's 29th. You would have been way out if you said gold, which is the 79th, or even lithium. That's the third. Even I knew that without looking at anything. So copper, 29th, silver 47th, and gold 79th. Yes, the 25th element in the periodic table is manganese. And that's all you have to know when you talk about element. Well, it's not all you have to know, but that is what this company does. This company is a manganese mining company. Now, Element 25 not only mines manganese, they also have another project in regards to high purity manganese. And I'll talk about that in a few slides. This company has been around for long. In fact, this company listed in November 2006 as Montezuma Mining, and then they changed the name to Element 25. Not sure why they changed the name. I can understand maybe they thought Element 25 really fit what the company wanted to do. And to be frank with you, I probably would agree with them. I think Element 25 is a great name for a company that is involved with manganese. It just suits it to a T. The largest shareholder is Justin Brown. I'll talk about Justin Brown in a second. He has 4.2% holding of the company. He's also the managing director. So the very fact that the largest shareholder is also the managing director is actually a good thing, in my opinion. I probably would like that holding to be a little bit higher, but that's pretty good holding for a company that has 190 million shares on issue and a market cap of 141 million. So if he has 4.2% holding, that means his stake in this company is about $6 million. Now that market cap, it's a share price of 74 cents. So not a lot of shares on issue, which is a good thing. So when I see shares on issue breaching 1 billion and getting higher than 1 billion, I do become a little bit concerned. And because this company has been listed for almost 17 years, or not quite, so just over 16 years, the market cap has ranged between $1 million, in fact, less than $1 million in November 2008. And the highest market cap this company has seen was 349 million. And that date is just under my head, which was in March 2021. You'll be able to see that when we look at the chart. This company went through, well, it has a Matterhorn pattern, and that's a term I've come up with, and a fairly, popular pattern to see, particularly in tech stocks during 2020 into 2022. And if you don't understand what the Matterhorn is, it's just a mountain. And we have seen a lot of charts where the share price goes up really quickly and down like a rock, forming sort of like a mountain pattern, Matterhorn. And the ticker code for Element 25, could it be anything else? And I say that a lot, but could it be anything else other than E25? Now to the managing director, Justin Brown, who is also the largest shareholder in this company. He's actually been involved with Element 25 since 2006, including executive roles. And it says here he has 20 years of experience. He is a geologist. Now, my question is, just because you're a geologist with a lot of experience doesn't mean that would make you a good managing director or CEO. And on the flip side, just because you're a CEO or a good CEO or a good manager or managing director doesn't necessarily mean you'd be a good leader of a mining company. I think that you can combine the two, good geologist and a capable geologist and a capable manager. And I think that could be the sort of person you want to be leading a mining company. That's just my opinion. I could be completely wrong, but not much else to say about Justin Brown, apart from the fact that he's a larger shareholder. So a lot of skin in the game. Maybe not a lot, but there is skin in the game there. And he's also been involved with this company since 2006. Now, I'm just going to talk about the two significant projects this company has. The first one is Butcher Bird, which is the manganese mine in WA. Apparently, it's Australia's largest onshore manganese resource with over 260 million tonnes, 100% owned by Element 25. And they go into other things that it's very simple or has very simple geology. I'm not an expert in geology at all, and extremely low levels of contaminants. That could be good, particularly for those ESG investors. And on the bottom there, we have resources and reserves. So $263 million resources, $50.6 million of reserves. Grade 10% for manganese, which I'm not sure if that's high or low, but seems high to be 10%. And contain manganese, 20.8 million tonnes in resources and 5.22 million tonnes in reserves. Another project this company has, apart from the manganese mine, is they are developing a battery-grade, high-purity manganese sulfate monohydrate, HPMSM. I will never remember that acronym, which is apparently an EV fuel. So it also says here it's a product for traditional and new energy markets. It aims to become an industry-leading, world-class, low-carbon battery materials manufacturer. These are the sort of companies I'd probably be more interested than in, say, the lithium miners, because I think these sort of companies who are producing products for EVs have a better chance for success in the long run. So this is not in production or yet. Stage 1 and Stage 2. Stage 1, first production of manganese concentrate to sell to manganese alloy manufacturers. Stage 2, expansion of the concentrate production to produce manganese feedstock to convert to MnSO4, which would be, is that manganese sulfate monohydrate? And then Stage 3 is establishing a conversion facility, convert the concentrate to battery-grade HPMSM with renewable energy. Now, haven't had a close look to how much money they have to spend to get through all these stages. There is that potential they have to spend a lot of money, a lot of capital expenditure to put this project into production. So I haven't gone that in-depth into Element 25 at this point in time, simply because I'm not that interested in taking a position in this company just yet. But if you are liking what you hear, maybe you can further the research and find out exactly how long it will take this company to get this HPMSM project up and running. Now let's have a look to see how Element 25 performed in the March quarter by looking at their statement of cash flows, or their Appendix 5B, and a few interesting things to take away from this particular cash flow statement. Now, the first thing is receipts to customers, 13.3 million. And if you look right next to that, for the year to date, 26.8 million. So it seems like this company might be increasing their production because the receipts for this quarter equaled the receipts for the last 2 quarters. But it's not quite that simple. And that would come clear when we look at the cash receipts history for this company. Something intriguing happened to this company in the December quarter. Now, other interesting thing to take away from this particular Appendix 5B or cash flow statement is that Element 25 was operating cash flow positive for this quarter by $648,000. Now, even though they were operating cash flow positive, because they spent $798,000 in capital expenditure or property, plant, and equipment, this company was not free cash flow positive. Now, however, in saying that, you'll notice that in 1.8, there's a payment for HPMSM development, and they spent $1.8 million on that, which means if they didn't have this other project, if they were just a manganese mining company, Element 25 would have been operating cash flow positive by about $2.4 million. And I don't mind what they're doing here. So what they are doing here, and this is a decision by management, is they're diverting the funds that they create in the manganese mine to this other project in the hope that eventually they'll get this other project up and running, and that will produce further cash flow for the business and also sort of diversify what the business does. So I'm not, this is a good thing, in my opinion, if you're a shareholder, that this is exactly what you want management of this company to do, to take the cash flow from the manganese mine and to divert maybe not all that cash flow, but quite a bit of that cash flow to that HPMSM project. And one thing I should have mentioned before I left the previous slide is, even though this company was operating cash flow positive by $700,000 in the one quarter, they were actually operating cash flow negative by over $10 million through the first 9 months of the year. Now onto the production summary for Element 25. A few things I want to see here, and this is the first time I've looked at the manganese or the production summary of a manganese company. So even though they do have manganese prices here, it's a little bit different from the manganese chart I'll show you soon, but a few things I want to point out here. First thing is cost per ton has decreased over the last few quarters, which is a good thing. Shipping costs are coming right down. In fact, they've gone down from 37.5 American dollars per ton down to 14.9. That could only be a good thing for this company moving forward. They've also, right at the bottom here, they've got plant productivity, and that has actually increased over the last few quarters. So first time I've looked at a production summary like this, it does look like things are moving in the right direction for Element 25. Whether that can continue, I have absolutely no idea. Now onto the receipts history for Element 25, and this is where it gets really interesting. So if we look at the receipts through time, over 6 quarters, receipts are going up, during that period. In fact, they've increased from 5.6 million to 13.3 million. And then for some reason in the December quarter, the previous quarter to this one, receipts went from 13.2 million down to 310,000 and then back up to 13.3 million. Now, I tried to find out why this happened, and there was not a lot of information. And it seems like maybe they were just increasing their stockpile of manganese, maybe had to do something with manganese prices. They didn't want to sell manganese at maybe lower prices. But it wasn't really clear that why this company had very little receipts in the December quarter. That is one thing I want to understand if I was moving forward with my research. But the main thing is receipts have gone back up to the level we saw in the September quarter in 2022. Now onto manganese prices. A manganese chart is not something I have looked at much in the past, if at all. Probably never, in fact, if I was being truthful with myself. Haven't done any research in manganese companies. In fact, Element 25 is the first manganese company I have ever looked at, and maybe why there's not much chat about manganese is when you look at this particular chart, which is from Trading Economics. Don't have a manganese chart in Trading View. You can just see manganese prices, nothing really happening at all over this 10-year period. We did see manganese prices fall during 2015 into 16, which is fair enough because we saw a lot of commodities prices fall during that period and then rebound quite quickly in 2016 and 17. But prices have generally just gone sideways over the past 10 years. Now onto the charts of Element 25, and you might expect that if Element 25 has always been a manganese company, I'm not sure they have, maybe they transitioned to gold exploring and then moved through to manganese sometime in the past 10 years or so. But the chart for Element 25, and this is their monthly chart, if I remember correctly, going all the way back to when they listed on the ASX as Montezuma Mining. And this particular chart does look like manganese prices going sideways. So between 2006 and 2020, there was not much action in Element 25, apart from a brief period in 2021 when there was a little bit of excitement, but that excitement was only really the share price, not a lot of volume. So no fun being a shareholder of this company between 2006 and 2020. But 2020 and 21 was a totally different story. A classic Matterhorn pattern. Matterhorn trademarked, or Matterhorn pattern trademarked by Kneppy, because I have seen this sort of pattern with a lot of companies all around the world, particularly tech companies. A massive increase in prices or share prices during 2020 into 2021, and then a massive decrease in prices into 2022, although Element share price started decreasing in the middle of 2021. So in fact, share price went from about 12 cents during the COVID-19 financial panic all the way to a high of $2.90. And then it went from $2.90 all the way down to a low of about 40 cents. So let's have a look at the daily chart for Element 25 just to see if this long downtrend in the share price since the middle of 2021 is coming to an end. You can tell slightly by the monthly chart that we have seen a bounce, and then the bounce has started to fall away again on decreasing volume. So let's have a look at the daily chart just to see what the sentiment in this company is like right now. And this particular daily chart for Element 25 goes back to when the share price did reach that high of about $2.90 in March 2021. And then the share price moved into a well-defined downtrend in the middle of 2021 and remained in a downtrend up until about August, September of last year. So it was in a downtrend for over 12 months. And during that time, the share price fell from about $2.25 all the way down to that low of around 40 cents, which was reached in June of last year. Share price then moved into a nice short to almost medium-term uptrend. Share price increased from 40 cents back up to about $1.40 in November, but the share price has been struggling since that high in November. There was one day when the share price fell significantly in November, so I would like to know what that was or what happened on that day. It could be just a negative announcement from the company, and it seems like potentially that negative announcement from the company in November was a catalyst for a shift in sentiment from becoming positive, burgeoning positive, to say neutral and turning into negative sentiment during the last few months. In fact, share price has moved into a downtrend since about January of this year. And that is all I have for this video. So congratulations to Element 25 for being the first company with cash receipts to release their March quarterly results. And congratulations to those who knew the 25th element on the periodic table was manganese. I actually didn't know that. In fact, it took me a little bit of time to put that connection together, that this company was named Element 25, and then the 25th element on the periodic table was actually the thing they are mining. Yes, sometimes I am not that smart. If you have any thoughts about Element 25, manganese, or anything else, I'd love to hear from you. So leave your thoughts in the comment section of this video. Otherwise, I am not a financial advisor. If you need financial advice, make sure you find someone who is qualified and can speak to your own financial needs. That's it for this video. Have a good day. Bye.